Restorative summer. Happy to be back. Welcome, Carla. Blissful, busy. Yeah, I like cooler weather too now. I love the hot and I love the cooler weather. Tough summer. I'm sorry, Lisa. Ischia was a dream. Thank you, Sharon. I hope many of you get to still experience that it was a dream. Doing well. Vacation starts tomorrow. Wonderful. Welcome to those of you coming in. I felt called today to talk about happiness specifically because my contribution to the world, your contribution to the world is first of all your happiness. It's not even the quality of the work you do daily, it's sharing what's inside you. So your biggest contribution to the world over the course of your life is your level of happiness, your level of inner peace, your level of calm, what's inside you. And we keep thinking like, let me get another degree, let me get better at my job, let me become more qualified, I'll contribute to the world that way. And yes, through doing your work with love, you contribute to the world. You absolutely do. But the way you really contribute to the world is sharing the way you feel with the world. So if you feel happy, you're sharing happiness with everyone else around you. And that's what we'll talk about today. Ways to do that and kind of the unobvious and sometimes hard truths about happiness that no one really wants to hear. Everyone does want to hear that it's simple, and in some ways it is simple, but in some ways it's very, very challenging. So again, is the sound quality good? I have my fancy mic. Can you hear me well? Okay, good. So first, let's meditate because the first practice for your daily happiness is meditation. So put everything down, sit at the very back of your chair, and together, let's take a deep breath in. And let's take a full breath out through the mouth. And we'll also take some 4, 7, 8 breaths together. So inhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale out through the mouth for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And again, inhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale out through the mouth for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And last breath like this, inhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And exhale out through the mouth for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And with your eyes closed, let's do a body relaxation as an act of self-compassion. So bring awareness to the forehead and let the forehead relax. Release the eyebrows. Release the jaw and the cheeks and the mouth. Release the sides of the neck and the back of the neck. Let the shoulders drop. Release the chest. Release the back. Release the belly. And feel the left arm and the right arm and the left hand and the right hand. Release the rib cage. Release the hips. Release the sit bones. Let the legs be heavy and soft. Enjoy this stillness. And through this stillness, the breath is always moving through it. So once you feel settled in your body, turn your awareness to your breath. Every time you inhale, say in your mind the word inhale. And as you exhale, say in your mind the word exhale. When your mind wanders, which it will, come back to the words inhale, exhale. Feel the breath. Let your full awareness be with the breath. Stay with the breath for 1 minute. Return to the breath if the mind has wandered. Enjoy feeling the breath. And now put a hand or two on your heart. This coming home of hand to heart, heart to hand. And say, I am here to keep myself safe. I am here to nourish this heart. I am here to treat myself so well that this heart feels fulfillment. I am here to be honest, which means acting from the heart. I am here to build the boundaries this heart needs. And also to open the heart to others in a way that feels safe. Feeling this hand on the heart, say, I will always be on my own side. No matter what anyone does, no matter what anyone says or thinks, no matter what else happens in the world, I can love myself fully with this heart. I listen to this heart and I act out of my highest intentions. I am on my own side, by my own side, and on my own side. Keeping this hand on your heart, say, I wish myself happiness today, right now, as I am. This version of me today, I send myself love here today. And whatever happens, I let every emotion flow through me. Everything flows through me like the breath. I know that every emotion I experience is my source of strength. I am here to enjoy I am here to change and grow. I am here to feel unconditional love for the world itself. I am here to understand myself more deeply. With this hand still on your heart, say, may my words have clarity. May my words come from my heart. May my actions, may what I do, may it come from my heart. May I support myself from this heart always. I'm not here to blame myself. I'm not here to second guess myself. I am here to connect with myself and act out of my deepest intention. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May this heart be safe. May I always keep myself protected. May I find ease and peace. May I find that peace through every challenge. In every situation, may I find peace. May I find joy in everything there is to be enjoyed. May I treat myself with kindness and sweetness in every moment. And now release the hands back down in your lap and take a deep breath in, a deep breath out through the mouth. And let your shoulders release again. Gently, softly opening your eyes, coming back. And welcome to all of those who joined during the meditation. You are very, very welcome. And now that we're all here, let's do our traditional smile and wave. So turn on your camera, and I would just love to see your beautiful smiles to each other, welcoming your meditation community, welcoming Happiness Sangha. Oh, beautiful smiles. So I've missed these faces. Many of you haven't seen this. So turn on your camera just for a second. Hi, everyone. I love seeing the people together. Hello. Yerushim even is waving. Everyone's waving. Hello. Good to see you. Um, thank you so much for the warm welcome toward each other as well. Thank you so much. So I wanted this to feel like a big reunion. I think most of you have done programs with me in the past. So I wanted to reunite after a long summer. It was a very exciting summer for me. And I've just gotten a lot of questions over the summer, over the last 2 months, about meaning of life, happiness, relationships, boundaries, energy. And I think some of you are used to always being in a virtual class. There's always the space to get questions answered. And there hasn't been a virtual class for 2.5 months because we had the retreats in Italy. We had a happiness retreat, and that took all my attention. So I kept track of your questions and I said, I'll get back to you. And I really want to get back to a lot of the questions and a lot of different versions of your questions here today. And also to talk about happiness, because there's always, depending on what's happening in the world, there's always a new perspective on happiness. So we'll do a talk, we'll do 2 more meditations, we'll do Q&A. I'll answer the questions that I've gotten, and then you can also ask questions. Big picture overview first, and I like to start with big picture, and then we'll deepen it. Let's start with the hard, uncomfortable truth, and it's that nothing exists in the world to guarantee your happiness. It's not the job of absolutely anything in the world to guarantee your happiness. Not your partner, not your child, not your parents, not the sister you love, not your job. Nothing is here in the world to guarantee your happiness. And at the same time, everything can become a source of your happiness. if you know that you exist in this world to guarantee your happiness. So nothing in this world exists to guarantee your happiness. You exist absolutely in this world to guarantee your happiness. And everything in this world has its own path toward happiness, or Buddhists would say toward enlightenment, which is the ultimate happiness. Everything and everyone has a path toward enlightenment that's completely unique. And how people walk that path is not for us to judge. And how we walk that path is not for others to judge. But when you feel that something brings you joy, when you feel like something lights you up, when you feel like something gives you energy, that's really important information for you to do more of it, to follow that thread, to pay attention to it. That thing that lights you up, that gives you energy, that person you want to be around, that's the most useful information that you can have. And some of you have been saying, like, I feel apathy, I feel indifferent, I don't have energy. And we'll talk about energy today as well. And we have a class on how to have endless energy starting September 22nd, because I've just been getting so many questions about it. I can take a cue from my 2-year-old. If a child doesn't have energy, what does that child do? What gives that child energy? As soon as that child starts to play with a new toy or do a new activity, there's so much enthusiasm for life again. There's so much enthusiasm, and their attention is focused and they can't get enough of it. And they have lots of energy. New activity, new toy. And I'm not saying keep consuming new toys. In the adult world, that's what's the group of people who you see that gives you energy. What's the author where you read and it resonates and gives you energy? What's the music? What's the place? What's the activity? What's the challenge that gives you energy? What's the goal that gives you energy? What is the impact you want to have? Where you think about that impact, it gives you energy. And pursue that. And kids always know what that is for them. A 2-year-old, a 3-year-old can say very, very precisely, I want this. As adults, we get shy about saying, I want this. This brings me joy. This brings me energy. But the wisdom is really with the 2 and 3-year-olds. They're connected to themselves. So stay connected to yourself in that way, where the most useful information you get from the world is that feeling of being lit up. It's when you have your full energy resource. And people often fear death and stress over, when am I going to die? Am I going to die? The tragedy isn't death. The tragedy is living life without your full energy resource. The tragedy is living life without loving life. So find the people, the moments, the activities, the things you truly love that light you up, that fill you up, that make you feel larger, more spacious, and always say yes to them. And for each of us, they're completely different. Always say yes to life. Always look at the world with so much gratitude that you can be in a good mood. If you look at anything with gratitude, you're in a good mood. And also make choices that allow you to be in a good mood. Don't let anything be an excuse or a reason or a rationale to not love life. Don't let politics be a reason to not love life, because if you look historically, regimes are always changing. Structures are always changing. Political structures, political leaders, they're always changing. It's not a reason for us to be unhappy. They just always change throughout history. Don't let anything anyone does, any family member, any child, anyone in the world, don't let it be a reason for you to not love life. There's always more that life has to offer. There's always more life has to offer, more joy, more love, more connection to yourself, more adventure. There's always more growth. There's always more discoveries. There's always more artistic energy. There's always new artistic energy. There's always someone new doing something new and beautiful artistically. There's always more friendship. A lot of you discovered that in the happiness retreat in Ischia. There's more friendship at any age than you can ever imagine. There's always more things in the world to take your breath away. And if you're so focused on who's going to get elected, on what is my boss doing, on things that drain you, that in your mind prevent your happiness, if you're really focused on them, you won't let life give you more love, take your breath away. If you can't forgive something, if you can't forgive someone for something, if you can't forgive yourself for something, let that go. Remove yourself from that role. If you can forgive something or someone, you're in the position of God. And in the position of God, there's no enjoying life. In the position of God, there's lots and lots of responsibility, and there's none of that joy. If you're in the position of God, you always will be lacking energy because it's too big of a position. But if you know exactly the way the world should be in any given moment, and you can't forgive the world for being as it is, you're putting yourself in a very high position of God. And those like sanities, those sensual sanities, those primal sanities are not accessible to you in that moment. So you are a human being, you have boundaries, you have limitations. They are a good thing. You don't choose who comes into this world. You don't choose who comes out of this world and when. You don't choose what others do. All you choose is your reality. You just choose your reality. And the way you choose your reality is depending on your inner reality. What do you cultivate? Every single day, I do my meditation practice and I cultivate acceptance, joy, compassion, self-compassion, connection to myself, energy. You build your inner reality, and that's enough. All you are really here to do is build your inner reality and cause non-harm. And the outer reality is a reflection of your inner reality. You're here to be present. You're here to grow. You're here to enjoy. That's it. And do you feel how empowering that is? That you're not on the role of God to decide how things need to be, how things should go, how people should be around you. Those are just not things for you to decide, and putting them down. It's like putting down all your weapons, putting down all your armor to say that is outside of my limitations. So influence fully the things you can influence: your good mood, your happiness, your joy, your excitement about life, your level of kindness, your inner state, your gratitude, the things you do. You can influence that. And then don't influence the things you cannot influence: other people's experience, other people's thoughts, what other people's do, other people's life path. You know for sure that death is a guarantee. So we can let that go, but you can influence your life and the way you live, and you can influence it for the better every moment. Every moment you're aware, every moment you find joy, every moment you see beauty, every moment you connect with yourself with honesty, you're connecting to the entire world. So I hope that you focus, you decide to find harmony here in this reality, find beauty here in this reality, give love here, gather energy here, connect to yourself here, be more honest with yourself here, accept yourself as you are while you're here, keep becoming more spacious, keep enjoying while you're here. And I hope that that's how you live, and you can bring that into your everyday life. If life is really difficult, if someone is really suffering, you always have something to offer that person. And it's not your pity, it's not trying to fix them. In any situation, you can find an authentic presence and give awareness with love. In any situations, you can give a presence with love. And you can look at this person as a part of the universe that you are here to accept. You can look at that person with full acceptance. And that really supports people. That is an enormous source of support for anyone. When you look at someone with full acceptance and this feeling that I am on your side. And the only way you can really do that for anyone who crosses your path is saying, Earth, world, universe, I accept you. I am on your side. One thing I said at the beginning of the happiness retreat in Italy, the happiness retreat, is you will see a lot of beauty. You will experience a lot of the sensual. You will learn a lot of really interesting things about this place around you. And let it be a way to fall in love with life itself. Let it be a way to fall in love with the earth. It's not about falling in love with a specific place or these specific beaches. Fall in love with the universe, because it's another thing the universe has to offer. And don't let yourself fall into empathy or fall into pity. So even when people are suffering, to some degree, they always are, stay with your own centered, joyful, calm, loving, energetic presence for yourself and for others. Don't think that this person is at fault, these people did this wrong. Don't spend energy on that, because again, you're not God. You're not here to be in a position of God. You don't know who is right and who's wrong. Don't spend your energy on that on any day. It's like figuring out who's right and who's wrong and how people should live. It's like doing a lot of really, really, really hard work that's not even yours and you don't even get paid for it. That's kind of the mechanism. Doing a lot of very hard, excruciating work that's very heavy. No one pays you for it. No one gives you acknowledgement for it, and it's not even yours to do. And you spend hours and hours of mental energy doing it, and you don't get a salary at the end. That's the work of kind of knowing how people should be or thinking about who did something wrong or criticizing someone. So put down that extra work that's taking your energy and look at people as a necessary part of the universe as they are. Then you can make choices how little or how much time do you want to spend with this person. That choice is yours. That choice is always yours. That's a boundary. But when you see them, when you think of them, let there be heartfulness, let there be acceptance, let there be compassion. That's how you support the entire world. For loved ones, for strangers, for all people. We'll do that in the meditation soon. So hold on to your own center, hold on to your own source of energy through all of that. And then you become a resource. You become a resource to yourself, first of all, because you have energy. You become a resource to the world. And when you're a resource to the world, I notice this working with people one-on-one a lot. Once you become a resource to the world, you find your joy, you become non-judgmental, everything starts coming to you. Doors open to you and kind of circumstances align in your favor. Buddhists would say you cultivated good karma and it's coming back to you. You've cultivated sattva and life has become easier. I think another way to look at it is just you are very, very valuable to the universe when you're in a good mood and you're centered and you're joyful. You're very, very valuable. And the universe sees this and it conspires to preserve that good mood. So then you find the parking spot where it's impossible to find parking. The universe like, here you go. You want to see a rare flower, you get a bouquet of those rare flowers, or you find a field of those rare flowers. You want to go on the retreat to Italy, the money just gets Venmoed to you out of nowhere. One of you told me that story. Just your good mood, you become very, very useful to the world. So the world preserves it. So first you find that inner state in you, joy, centeredness, calm, kindness, and then everything outside of you supports it, but you find it in yourself first. So fill your relationships with love and with energy because you have energy. And if you're alone with yourself, when you're alone with yourself, fill your alone time, fill your time one-on-one with energy, fill your one-on-one time with love and with energy. So if you spend an entire day alone, you wake up, you have breakfast, you do your work, you meditate, think of taking that alone time and filling it with so much love and with so much energy, putting care into it, finding joy in it, giving yourself that patience, giving yourself that attention, giving yourself your presence. Fill it with energy, and then you never feel alone. Once you fill your alone time with energy, you will never feel alone. And there's a deep state you go into of agreement with reality, that reality, yes, reality, I'm here for you. Reality, I agree. I don't disagree. I agree. We can fight very, very hard. What is like, my ancestors were bad, they were evil. Let me disapprove of my ancestors. Let me disapprove of everything in the world. You can be that kind of cranky person. That doesn't really work if you want to have energy and you want to be happy, because every time you're fighting or you're resisting or you're judging, your ego is very, very happy. Your heart is in pain. And when your heart is in pain, your body is in pain and you're not flowing. So resisting judging reality is the number one mental state that sucks your energy. And we'll talk more about this in the September 22nd class on how to have more energy. But it's this disagreeing with reality, which again puts you in the role of God, that is very energy heavy. It's like being in a relationship with someone you don't love. If you're living with someone you don't love, let's say you're with them because as a result, you're in a nice house, or they're just a really good parent to your kids, so you want to be with them because they're a great parent to your kids, but you don't love them. You will probably get that benefit that keeps you together, but it will be very energy expensive. Doing anything not from your heart is very, very energy expensive. And something that's energy expensive takes away your health, takes away your joy, takes away your creativity. So it's never really ultimately worth it, no matter what the benefit seems to be. So Find that deep state of contact with yourself. That's where your happiness is, where you listen to yourself with ease. And when you find that very deep contact with yourself, you'll find there's no one to fight. There's nothing to fight. There's just this general satisfaction, and your mental state of general satisfaction translates into general contentment with the world as it is around you. It's like when I come out of a sauna in a forest and I'm wrapped in a towel and I just spend 40 minutes in a sauna and I jump into a lake, at that moment, I'm in contact with myself. I am at peace. I only want to do good in that state. I don't want to fight anyone. I only want to connect and approve. And just my presence alone in that moment will have so much energy that it will diffuse any conflict. It would diffuse any conflict in and of itself. So when your presence is strong, when you have energy, when you're alive, when you're brimming with this aliveness, when you're connected to yourself, you also have a deep connection with everything else. And some conflict or some problem you might have had, you won't have that conflict, you won't have that problem. You'll create peace around you. And that's inner work in the best possible way. So in that moment when you're in contact with your body, you have access to your intuition. You're not blocking out any feelings. Anything from deep within is very, very obvious to you. And that's when you do what you want to do. You understand what you want when you're in contact with your body. That's also why we meditate. You become in contact with yourself, with your body. When your mind is with what you need to do, what you're supposed to do, what society says you should do, that's like the blind leading the blind. Kind of doing something because society wants you to do it is like the blind leading the blind. It'll lead you in circles. You'll feel on a hamster wheel. The main point I want to make about where is your happiness. So today's answer to where is your happiness? It's in your honesty with yourself. This is why it's both easy and very challenging. Your happiness is where your honesty is. Your heart's honesty is your happiness. So the big point I want to make today is never betray yourself. Never ever betray yourself, not for anything. If you do betray yourself, you block out your feelings. If you betray yourself over time, you no longer have access to your feelings. And there's people I've worked with for 6, 7, 8 years. And only after 6, 7, 8 years, they're starting to have access to their feelings because they spend 30 years or 40 years cut off from them. Then it takes time to do the unnumbing. At a certain point, if you betray yourself again and again, you don't have that natural intimacy with yourself. Put a plus in the chat if you've had that experience of numbed feelings, truly numbed feelings, because I want you to get that community sense. So a lot of you are putting plus in the chat. So if you are putting a plus in the chat and you really feel like you have had those numb feelings, that's why I offer the individualized journey to happiness. It will lead you back to yourself and we'll make that plan. So contact me if you really feel like I have numbed my feelings and I don't know what to do. We'll make a plan together. As soon as you lose that contact with yourself, it's not just yourself you're losing contact with. You lose contact with the rest of the world. And you don't have a shot at happiness in this state. Someone disconnected from themselves can't be in a happy relationship. Someone disconnected from themselves can't be a great parent. Someone disconnected from themselves isn't going to make a unique, very valuable contribution to the world. They can do a mechanical, robotic contribution to the world, but not a contribution from the world that's authentic. So again, from that place of numbing yourself or betraying yourself, your energy decreases, your health is worse. And in that state, money doesn't come to you. Or if money comes to you, it's at such a cost to your health or at such a cost to your freedom that it's not worth it. So open up to yourself, keep opening up to yourself. And again, if you don't know how to, send me an email. We will talk about it and we'll make a plan exactly of how to, because I don't just talk about these things as wonderful, inspiring ideas for an hour where you're inspired after. I give you a step-by-step, day-by-day plan of how to get there that will guide you from point A to point B over the course of several months or a year, but you will get there. relatively short amount of time if you think about a lifetime. So it's like this. It's like your life is the Olympic Games and all the gold medals are yours. That's being in contact with yourself. Every gold medal is absolutely yours because you have energy. There's love, there's health, there's happiness, there's joy, there's authenticity. Every gold medal you want will always be yours. It's a matter of your inner state. It's a matter of your contact with yourself. When you're in contact with yourself, every golden medal is yours. When you want those golden medals from the outside, that's your ego, and you won't be happy because no outside validation, no award, no recognition, no high bank account will actually make you feel love for yourself. When you have that love for yourself, that deep contact with yourself, then everything else is yours as well. This is an idea from Lao Tzu, this is an idea from the Buddha, but it's an idea that we get to live out in the modern world again and again. So if you find a lack of willingness to contact yourself deeply, you know for a fact that then you can't have deep contact with anyone else. Start with daily meditation, start with daily movement that you like, and start with this attitude that I care for myself. I put energy into my alone time. I go where my heart leads. I cultivate energy. And then give your love to the universe, give your love to yourself, give your love to the air, to the way the trees move. Just start to approve of everything around you. And then you'll start to receive love. Because only when you approve of something, it can send you love back. Only when you approve of the place you're in, the people you're with, you can receive from them. You can't get energy from something that you judge. If you judge it, it won't give you its full resource ever. When you're in this state of contact, of approval, that's when you don't need addictions. You don't need binge eating. Workaholicism seems totally irrelevant. All of those are just ways for you to avoid yourself. And all of those are just what we do when there is not enough love from ourselves to ourselves. So again, the big answer to the question today of where is my happiness? Your happiness is when you never, ever, ever betray yourself, when you are honest with yourself. Anything but not that. Don't betray yourself in the little things. Don't betray yourself in the big things. Because betraying yourself in the little things, those very, very quickly become the big things. So there is kind of this wise person, wise yogi, wise meditator saying, ooh, the Zoom approves, saying, where does wisdom border with betrayal with yourself? Where does like, it's wise for me not to say anything right now. Where does that end and where does betrayal begin? Where does kind of wisdom begin to encroach on your values? I would say that anything that encroaches on your values is self-betrayal. Anytime you're acting against your values or you feel pain in your heart as you do something, that is self-betrayal. And when you feel like you're betraying yourself, stop. I would say even when a voice in your head says it's not wise to, still stop. I would pick being true to yourself as a higher value than wisdom or tact or doing the right thing or acting the right way or using the right language. Don't be kind of openly harmful aggressive, but you can protect your boundary always. You can always protect a boundary. And if you're protecting a boundary and it requires you to be harmful and aggressive in that moment, be harmful and aggressive because that's self-defense. And definitely don't be like wise and silent. Don't stay silent because of wisdom, because you're afraid to lose someone. Put a plus in the chat if you've ever not said something in a relationship that you really wanted to say that reflected how you felt because you were afraid to lose the other person. So a lot of you are putting pluses in the chat. Thank you for participating. Thank you for admitting that. And the other very important message I want to give you as an answer to where is my happiness. Sorry, I'm going to readjust because this is so important. I love these pluses coming in. Thank you. I love the happiness song community. I care so much for all of you, for your openness, for your ability to say things as they are. Thank you. That brings tears to my eyes. The point I want to make is don't be afraid to lose anyone, period. Don't be afraid to lose anyone, period. Even people who are important to you. Be afraid to lose yourself. Only be afraid to lose yourself. Don't be afraid to lose anyone else. So be honest, because that's the only way you have your happiness. That's the only way you have energy. If you're very honest about how you feel and a relationship breaks up, then arrivederci, farewell, goodbye. It's a good thing that the relationship broke up. It's not a bad thing that the relationship broke up, even if it's someone you care about. If your honesty led to it breaking up, that's a gift to you. So prioritize your honesty first. Don't be afraid of losing someone or anyone who's far from you, who's close to you. Only be afraid of losing yourself. If something is uncomfortable to you, say, that is not comfortable to me, or I need more time, or this does not align with my values. This does not align with how I feel. I cannot do this. This does not feel right. Always say it. I'm also thinking about this a lot because boundaries class is starting October 13th. We have 4 weeks of boundaries class, which is definitely happening. And a lot of you already signed up for it. Be afraid to lose yourself, set boundaries, and if setting that boundary leads you to lose someone else, good. That's a gift to you because in your energy field, you only want people you can be honest with. If you can't be honest with someone, they should not be in your energy field. Don't let in your energy field around you in your life people you have to be dishonest with. They are not invited or they should not be there for long. If you live and you kind of feel this general sense of apathy, so put an exclamation point in the chat if you're like in that state that I know people sometimes get themselves in, where it's like, I don't want anything anymore. I don't want anything anymore. I really just don't want anything. I just want to rest. I don't want anything. Like the life, no, thank you. Yeah, so some of you are saying you're there. And again, thank you for your honesty, for your exclamation points. That's when you betrayed yourself too many times. I guarantee you that that's a sign that you've betrayed yourself already too many times. You're no longer connected to yourself. And you could have betrayed yourself in the name of a relationship and someone's happiness. You could have betrayed yourself in the name of your kid's happiness. You could have betrayed yourself in the name of your job and a promotion. There's probably some carrot there. You're afraid of losing something, that carrot, that's outside yourself. And life is here to make us fearless. So don't be afraid to lose anything. In a way, since you know you will die, you will lose everything at some point anyway. It's just a matter of time, but you'll never lose yourself. I would say even after death, you are still connected to yourself. And the more connected to yourself, the more you feel connected to yourself, the better. Like you, your presence, your spiritual qualities, they're here to stay throughout time, throughout eternity. Everything else, we'll lose it anyway. It flows in and out. It's just a reflection of your inner reality. So if you feel apathetic, that is when I recommend you sit down and you write down all the things you genuinely wish for. And you sit down and you write down all the situations on a daily basis where you betray yourself and you don't do that anymore. Again, don't be afraid of losing anything outside of yourself. And I want to say from experience, unfortunately, everything I say is from very, very deep experience. And I think you can hear that in the way I talk about it. I believe it deeply because I've lived it. I've tried one way, I've tried the other way. I've tried betraying myself, I've tried not betraying myself at all. And I know the difference. I know the taste of both of those. And I can sense it when you are, I can sense it when you're not. And I want to give you that feeling. So you have the shortcut as opposed to kind of the long, windy road to understanding these things. One of my favorite writers, Sergei Davlatov, it's actually his birthday today. If you want to read a really cool writer who escaped from Soviet Russia, moved to Manhattan, then to Queens, then to Brighton Beach, look up Davlatov. He's hilarious. But he said, it took me endless pain and suffering and choices and years of my life to come to the most banal cliche truths. And sometimes I feel that way in the sense that the things that should be obvious, like don't betray yourself, don't be afraid of losing yourself. We often get there through very, very hard experience that it feels like we don't even need to have. So it's only scary to lose yourself. It's not scary to lose someone. If you lose yourself, you lose your connection to the whole universe. The second you lose yourself, you lose your connection to absolutely everything. If you lose one person, what you might be gaining back is yourself. If you stop betraying yourself and lose that one person, you get back yourself, therefore you get back your connection to the whole universe. And the more you act honestly, the more you're in line with your rhythms, with your feelings, the better. Always stay connected to yourself. Stay in contact with yourself. What you're feeling right now, what your body wants right now, what are your values right now, what activities do you want to do now? I've been very, I think, good with that and how I do happiness sangha. Some years I do a lot of programs for law firms. Some years I do a virtual program basically every week, if not 3 or 4 times a week, because my heart is there. Next year, I'm going to be doing many retreats in Italy because that's where my heart is. That's where my energy is. That's where my excitement is. I'll be doing several different retreats in Italy because that's what excites me and feels true to myself. So let the work you do as much as possible and how you do it be an act of staying connected with yourself. How you express love for other people in the universe, let it be how you stay connected to yourself. Or kind of being introverted and reading books and not being as much with people. We have seasons. Be connected to yourself right now. I'm sure there will be years of my life where I barely do any class or any retreat or any virtual class. You won't see me for months. I'll just be writing books. I'll just be reading poetry and writing books, and that will be staying true to myself. So be very aware of those rhythms, of those tides. If you ignore what you're feeling, if you're like, I did this before, therefore I need to keep doing this, and people are expecting this of me, so therefore I will keep doing this. That's a betrayal of yourself. Being dishonest with yourself on where you are and what excites you and what brings you joy, that's a betrayal of yourself. And then if you keep doing that thing in the name of consistency, in the name of pleasing someone, in the name of living up to some mark, some outside gold medal, what you're doing is walking further and further and further away from your essence as it expresses itself right now. And at a certain point, like you do it, you walk away and the rubber band snaps. And when the rubber band snaps, that's depression, that's debt, that's binge eating, that's addiction, that's destructive relationships, that's codependent relationships, that's abusive relationships, that's the triangle. Because as you walk away from your essence, that band gets tighter and tighter. You're being abusive to yourself. So don't be abusive to yourself in the name of pleasing someone. Because once you're abusive to yourself, the world mirrors you, others become abusive to you as well. So you're here to be in your own energy. You're here on this earth to be yourself. And what we're building together through each Happiness Sangha class, through the talks, through the meditations, through the retreats, the habit that I hope to build in you is the habit of living from your essence. The habit, so you don't even have to think about it, of living from your core. The habit of living from your intuition, the habit of living from what gives you joy and doing a million small things that bring you joy and speaking honestly, saying the truth in words that feel natural to you. And then you live fully, you live profoundly, and that's where your power is. That's where every superpower that you have and that each person has, that's where the superpowers lie. Your honesty is your happiness. Your honesty is your anchor. So saying, this doesn't work for me, or this doesn't work for me anymore. Those are golden words, asserting a boundary. That's very important. If you want to have no boundaries, if you want to be all things to all people, who do you want to, anyone in the chat, who are you trying to be? If you want to be all things to all people, if you want to have no boundaries, if you want to have no limits, who are you trying to be? You're trying to be God. Only God is all things to all people. And the second of human being, thank you, Fetch New Data. Although Fetch New Data, put your other name in the chat so we know who you are. You're trying to be God. And as soon as you try to be God, everything else comes crashing down because the universe tries to communicate to you that you are not God. So then even the little things start going against you because the universe is like, you are not God. Look, you can't even control the little things like your mood. So betrayal of yourself stops where honesty begins. Betrayal of yourself stops where authenticity and connection to your body begins. One is more about process and what feels right than outcome. In order to be honest, what we let go of is fear. The main cause of lies and inauthenticity is fear. Elizabeth Ferry, very nice. Welcome back. So the more honesty you have, the more you'll see that your honestly ultimately doesn't harm anyone. I think there's a fear if I'll be put a plus in the chat if you have that. There's a fear that if I'll be honest, I'll hurt someone. If I'll be honest, other people will be hurt. Yeah, thank you, Tristan. Thank you, Diana. Thank you, Nina. Try it. I challenge you, try it. Be honest. And you'll see that your honesty ultimately doesn't harm anyone. Your honesty will not harm anyone. The more honesty, the more value, the more fulfillment, the more connection. You'll see that the more honesty, actually, the more connection. You can connect superficially, kind of robotically without honesty, but you connect deeply with honesty. So the more honest you are, the more fulfillment in you, and the more reality has clarity for everyone else. So this kind of trying to be all things to all people, we are not, because we're not gods. So if we do that very superficially. We do that very surface level. If you want to be all things to all people, that's very surface level. There's no real connection there. When you're yourself, when you say yes to this, no to this I can do, this I can't do. This activity resonates, this other activity does not resonate. This is my limit, this is my boundary. You can connect from that. From that, there is connection because there is honesty. So the big point I want to make about where is your happiness comes from your honesty. Your honesty comes from feeling and understanding your own boundaries. And the more honest you are in communicating them, the more clarity there is for everyone else. And the more you can connect, because you can only connect in a space of honesty. A lot of people whose paths have crossed mine and who are in this community and who are here right now, in childhood, you were taught or forced to play a role. It was communicated very clearly to you that when you are this kind of child, when you are this child who is working so hard to be perfect, you are loved. Otherwise, you are not loved. And then as a child, you got used to playing a role. Carlos putting pluses. Other people put pluses if that was you. That was me as well. So I understand that very well. And I think that's why other people are attracted to Happiness Sangha who had the same experience. So it's a lot of you. That can lead to very high achieving kids. That can also lead to kids disconnected from their body, disconnected from their feelings, disconnected from their intuition. And then you start to do all the work day by day to get that back. If you play a role, you're filling an expectation in a fake way, right? If you play a role, you are meeting an expectation, but in a way that's fake. So this is the point I want to make again. Sooner or later, that other person will be disappointed. If you're playing that role, sooner or later, you can't keep it up your entire life. Sooner or later, they will be disappointed because you can't be fake to match someone's expectations forever. If you're coming from your essence, from your core, there's a flow that goes on through eternity. If you're in your essence, honest, there's no beginning of time when that started. There's no end of time when that will end. There's no time where you'll stop being yourself. And again, we're eternal. So there's no time where it started. There's no time where it will stop. It just keeps going. If you're playing a role, it has a beginning and it has an end. Like there's a delineated, limited space of time when you can play that role because it's very energy heavy. You can only put up that energy for a limited amount of time. So at a certain point outside of this narrow piece of time, that person will be disappointed anyway. So never pretend. It's totally pointless to pretend. The wonderful prayer from E.E. Cummings, one of my favorite poets, who he said was the most essential prayer is, "May I never pretend." And some of our parents or grandparents or teachers taught us to always pretend. And you don't have to. In happy relationships, you don't pretend. In mature relationships, you don't pretend. And if you don't pretend in the little things, if you don't pretend with friends, if you don't pretend in your work, like you can feel that in my work with you, I am fully honest and I speak from the heart. I am not pretending. If you decide to not pretend, the right relationships will find you. If you decide to not pretend, the right work will find you. If you decide to not pretend, the right environments will find you where you don't need to pretend. So it continues. So again, what the practice on the inside, what you do on the inside, it continues on the outside. It will always move into your outside world too. Whatever you do on the inside gets mirrored on the outside. And that process, it's like making love to life. That's happiness. Doing something joyful on the inside, and you see it on the outside, and there's more of it on the inside, and there's more of it on the outside, and you heal from the inside, and then healing things happen on the outside on their own because it's mirroring you. And there's this wonderful back and forth. So you're meant to live this journey in this body, being honest with yourself and finding happiness. And you're meant to live life with energy, waking up with energy. So where is your happiness? Again, your happiness is your honesty with yourself, your honesty with others. And I think a lot of us think very hard, especially like when I see 22-year-olds, 18-year-olds, 24-year-olds, kind of younger, they think, I need to find that thing I'm meant to do in this life. I'm meant to do this thing in life. I need to find what that is. I need to do something. I need to find that life partner. I need to find that soulmate. I need to find that job. I need to find that activity. Put a plus if that resonates. Like I need to find that thing I'm meant to be doing. So for some of you that resonates. So a very important point I want to make is that you're not necessarily meant to do one thing or another. It's not about the what. You're not necessarily meant to be with one certain person. There's not like a definite who. You're meant to be honest through many, many, many experiences. The thing that is meant to be is the how, with authenticity, with kindness to yourself, with honesty. What you're meant to have is energy and respect for yourself. And whatever you do within that container will be the right thing. Whatever relationship you have will be the right relationship. Whatever activity you decide to do, you will be doing it in a way that's honest with yourself. So it's about the self-respect, the energy, the honesty. It's not about laser focus on finding that specific activity or only that specific person. It's about the how. If you're not honest with yourself, there's so much pain, there's so much doubt, there's so much discomfort inside that there's no space for love and gratitude. There's just very little space inside. All of your inside space can be filled with people pleasing or just with the discomfort of your daily existence. Or if you feel a lot of pity, if you take on everyone's suffering, that means you don't have energy. It's like an iPhone with 6% battery. I think some of you are living every day with 6% battery. And like an iPhone, I need to spend at least 24 hours away from it every single week. But just objectively, an iPhone can do a lot of cool things, right? Like with this iPhone, I can take a video, I can write a text message to all of you, I can read information about the entire world, I can look up a poem, I can listen to a song, I can call someone if it has battery. If it doesn't have battery, I can't do any of those things. Same with you. You can do a lot of really cool, exciting, wonderful things. You can have an impact. You can learn. You can connect. You can fall in love if you have battery. When your battery is low, when your level of energy is low, in the outer world, the reflection of that inner state shows up as only harmful relationships, no good romantic relationships, abusive relationships, sickness, debts, health problems, especially chronic health problems. Oh, my mic just switched. Let's see. How's the sound? Is the sound still good? Give me a thumbs up. Okay, good. The sound is still good. I think in those high energy moments, technology almost can't handle it. The big points, technology panics. The point I was going to make is that whenever I see cancer or chronic health issues, I always see a person who's dishonest with themselves. Always. It's just a very radical thing that happens when someone really needs to connect back to themselves. And it is incredibly sad. When you see health problems, think, how can I connect to myself more deeply again? If you feel love, if you feel gratitude, if you feel calm, that means you're being honest with yourself. And it also means that you have energy. That's like your 98% charged, 99% charged phone that knows it can just relax because the energy is there. When you are anxious, it's usually lack of energy. So the mindset that helps cultivate all of this, the mindset with which to view life is everything that happens to you is a step to something bigger. Everything that happens to you is a step to your strength. Total self-respect, no matter what happens or how it happens, you keep total self-respect. And there's no need to be afraid of anything. Complete courage. You stare reality in the face, you stare adversity in the face, and no matter what happens, be ready to live. Be ready to live in all circumstances. And let's take that one step further. Be ready to enjoy in all circumstances. This is the practice we also did in happiness retreat in Italy. This courage toward life, this acceptance towards life, this kind of vibrating excitement and back and forth with life. It's a kind of accord with life itself, an openness to life, a getting along with life, and letting yourself fall in love with life, letting yourself over and over again to fall in love with life. And you can fall in love with life because of the big things, like looking at gorgeous mountain Apomeo in front of you, eating a delicious breakfast, meeting wonderful people. You can fall in love because of the very, very kind of things that are right in front of you. You can fall in love with life because of a line of poem you read before going to sleep. And you read that line of poem and you say, this is a beautiful part of the universe I didn't know existed. This line of this poetry, this line is enough to make me fall in love with the universe, or this song, or taking this walk, or this act of kindness. So openly fall in love with the universe through any path you have. When you understand that nothing here belongs to us, we're just here to feel every range of emotion and be self-compassionate and be connected through that. We're not here to keep or take anything specific. All experiences go in and out. Let yourself feel your self-worth through all of them, and let yourself find things you can enjoy about your body, your senses, the world through all of them. And that's the liberation. That's inner freedom. Everything you experience becomes your source of strength. Every moment of joy becomes your source of strength. So even if you look at outside circumstances that are difficult, don't take it as a personal affront. Like I think I knew a cat once. I had when I was living in California, still we had a neighboring cat, and everything that anyone did that took attention away from the cat would look at it as a personal affront. So anytime anyone's attention would be outside the cat, or there'd be like a TV show, or the cat would basically pee on a laptop, and that was its sign of protest because it was a personal affront if the attention was not on the cat. And I'm like, this cat is a symbol of everything is a personal affront. So we can live life and absolutely everything can be a personal affront or a sign that God is wrong. Instead, see everything as a reflection of what's going on inside and stay connected to yourself and stay connected to any joy. I hope I see some dogs in the chat. I was going to make this an hour, but this is going to be longer because we still have 2 meditations to do and the Q&A. And I think I just missed you so much that I prepared a lot that I feel like I want to say. So we'll keep going. I'll also send the replay if you, but only if you registered. I don't think I'll send the replay to everyone. If you registered for the event, I'll send you the replay. If you didn't register and you want the replay, send me an email and hopefully I'll see it and I'll send you the replay. See everything on the outside, not as a personal affront or God is wrong or the universe is wrong. See it as how is it a reflection of what's inside me? If you're in a situation where your partner, your romantic partner is cheating on you, that's a betrayal. Ask yourself the question, where am I betraying myself? I've seen this pattern over and over again. If you betray yourself, a romantic partner often will betray you. If you are abusive to yourself, I guarantee you 100% certainty that someone will also keep being abusive to you. You stop being abusive to yourself, people around you stop being abusive to you. This is where your power is. This is where your incredible independence is to build your inner world as the most beautiful, sacred place that you take care of, and your outer world mirrors it. This is why I think 30 days of meditation 30 minutes of meditation every day is a must because you build the beautiful inner world and that just keeps going your entire life. Okay, so let's meditate and then I'll do the Q&A. Let's do another meditation. We'll do Q&A and then we'll do yet another meditation and start snacking if you haven't eaten dinner. Close your eyes Find your comfortable seat and let's practice what we're talking about. Find a posture that feels like a posture of dignity, of joy, of self-respect. Find your posture of strength. And send your breath into your belly and send your breath out of your belly. Imagine just breathing into the stomach and breathing out of the stomach. And just spend some time here, sending the breath right into the belly, into your center, and breathing out from your core, from your center. And now put one or both hands on the heart. Feel the hand on the heart. Enjoy the hand on the heart. And let's begin with gratitude. First, gratitude for your good heart. Gratitude for all this heart has felt. Gratitude for every emotion that can now become your strength. Gratitude to yourself that you meditate. Gratitude that you know how to cultivate your inner world. Gratitude for your own good intentions. And gratitude for your sensitivity and your particularities. Gratitude to your body as it is. Gratitude for everything you've contributed with an open heart. And with this hand on the heart, also gratitude for the entire earth you are on that contains so many opposites, that contains so many people. This earth, which is always building the perfect curriculum for your growth or for your enjoyment. And this heart that has space for every person as they are and has space for the entire earth as it is. And with this hand on the heart, say, heart, I know you've been through a lot. My heart, you've been through ups and downs. You've been through love and heartbreak. Heart, together we've been through every joy, every sorrow. I am here to listen to you. Heart, I am here to nurture you. I am here to do what feeds you. I am here to be kind to you and to create situations where you can be loving. Heart, everything you feel as you are, I am always on your side. I will never betray you, heart. Thank you for everything you allow me to feel. Thank you for all the ways you allow me to connect with others and to connect to myself and to connect to the earth. With this heart, I am here to make every choice. With this heart, I serve. With this heart, I practice non-harm toward myself and kindness to the people I love. So feel the hand on your heart. Feel the warmth you have to yourself, the warmth of this heart to yourself, the desire to nurture yourself, and bring this expansiveness, this loving attitude, this self-appreciation, bring it to the rest of your day, to the rest of your night, to the rest of your week. Seeing your worth deeply, respecting your heart even more deeply. And thank you for doing this meditation of respect toward your heart. And putting the hands down. And now take a deep breath in. And take a deep breath out through the mouth. And as you breathe out, opening your eyes, coming back. And how did that go? And again, I love meditating together, and then you get to share how it went, and it feels like a community because it is a community, and because you get to see what others experienced in the meditation, because we're all in very different places, and yet we meditate together, and there's something so beautiful about that. So this is a meditation of respect for the heart, because if you have respect for your heart, you will never betray yourself. If you never betray yourself, you have a life of energy, health, and honesty. Wonderful. Thank you for sharing. So now the really fun part of the evening, I'll answer the questions I've been getting this summer. So I was going to talk for 5 minutes, meditate for 10 minutes, and answer questions. I think we've done 75 minutes, but we're all within timelessness. So we're all operating within timelessness and the bigger picture. So how long things take is just how long they take. So the Q&A. Some questions are amalgamations, combinations of 2 or 3 questions, but they were related. So the first question I got, which I love this question, how does the practice change as I get older? With time, how does my meditation practice or my spiritual practice change? Very important question. I've never addressed this specifically. So as you get older, the practice changes because you need to do more things that give you energy. When you are 2 years old, you have an endless resource of energy. You don't know what to do with it. You just run around in circles, and you run around in circles because you have so much energy, and you want to climb every object because you have so much energy. As a 22-year-old, that energy is still bursting forth. If you're not a traumatized 22-year-old, if you're just a normal 22-year-old, you can argue, you can suffer your long lost loves, and you'll still have energy. You can get into conflicts and you'll still have energy. You can betray yourself and you'll still have energy. You can not see nature for months and months, you'll still have energy. You can do the totally wrong kind of work as a 22-year-old, you'll still have energy, because that energy is just naturally bursting forth because of youth. You can pretend, you'll still have energy as a 22-year-old. As you get older, that changes. You no longer have that option or that luxury of betraying yourself. You can do that when you're older. Lies, you have no energy for them. Arguments with people, you have no more energy. They use too much of your energy. Pretending, it uses up too much of your energy. If you want to have energy as you're older, you need to be authentic with yourself. So the practice of getting older is the practice of connecting to yourself more, so that you can have more energy as a 50-year-old, as a 60-year-old, or a 70 or 80 or 90-year-old than you did as a 20-year-old, as a 30-year-old, because you're more honest with yourself. But as you get older, the practice becomes even more uncompromising honesty, because that's the only way you can have that energy reserve. And you just don't have energy to be careless with yourself. You no longer have energy to not be self-compassionate with yourself. So if you see people who follow a spiritual path, they are very grounded the older they get, and that's connection to themselves. And that's really just the only way to have energy, the full energy reserve as you get older. So you no longer have the option to be in destructive relationships, to be in some weird triangles, menage a trois, romantic situations. You don't no longer have an option to not take care of your body. You no longer have the option to not see your own beauty. It's just not an option if you want to live fully with energy. And all of us in our 80s, 90s. I hope you live beyond 100 because you are meditating, you're connecting to yourself. Life is going to be exciting for you. You will have energy if you do those things, but you just don't have the option of doing certain things that you could have done in your 20s and maybe gotten away with them. Some of you are saying you're going to have a good night. I'll send you the recording so you can still see some of these Q&A because I feel inspired and I want to continue with all of you who are here. Another question I received: what's the most important thing to know for happy relationships? And I didn't answer this one. I thought about this a lot. It's very hard to distill the most important thing in a relationship. It's hard to distill, but I think it's this. The man or the woman, depending on who you're attracted to, that partner, that person you're interested in, it's not a means, it's an end in itself. That man, that's a value in and of itself. That woman, she is a value in it. That partner, they are a value in and of themselves. They are not a means to something. When you are trying to get someone to meet your needs, that person becomes a means, not an end. When you see them as the being in the relationship, being in a loving relationship, that's the end. That is the end in and of itself. That's the thing that's valuable. A relationship isn't something that gets you something valuable. The relationship is the thing that's valuable. I think people who understand that are in happy, loving relationship. So if you think that person, that relationship, that's the valuable thing, love is the thing in and of itself, then it's about serving, it's about loving, it's about giving. When you see that man or that woman you're with as a means, that could be about money. It doesn't have to be about money. It's just about seeing someone who will meet your needs. And that doesn't work. That doesn't work for a happy, healthy relationship where your heart feels free. So if it's about you not being lonely, if it's about financial gain, if it's about something in the universe other than the relationship isn't for that. Love is for love. Happy love, that's the only end in the context of relationship. And we can look at mythology here. We did that a lot in Happiness Retreat in Italy. What does mythology tell us about life, about what to do in our lives? The goddess Aphrodite had no tolerance for this kind of behavior. As soon as love was a means to something, she would stop supporting that person. So the goddess Aphrodite, she would endlessly help and support to someone following their heart wants to be with someone. She would talk to Poseidon, she would make the seas clear so they can reach that person by boat. She would deliver letters more quickly. She would help in any way she can. She would give people superhuman powers. She would make someone 10 times more beautiful in someone's eyes. She would always be there to help when it was about love. She would remove her help right away if it was about anything else. The interesting thing is the goddess Lakshmi in the Indian tradition did the exact same thing. As soon as it was about something other than love, she would remove her support. She's like, I withdraw from this campaign. So it's about feeling the emotion of love. That's what the love story is about. When the relationship is transactional on any side, on either side, if it's transactional, there's no happiness. There's no space for happiness. Maybe you'll get that. Maybe the transaction will be complete. Sometimes even the transaction isn't something you'll get, but maybe the transaction, let's say some percentage of time you get the transaction, but you don't get happiness, so you don't get love. So love is honesty. Love is only for love. When love is from the heart, there is honesty and there's a love story. And Aphrodite is always right. And I think that's the most important thing. To go back to the question, the most important thing to know for a happy relationship. The energy of love is the strongest source of energy in the world. And we live in a dangerous time. We all have less energy overall. That's why if you haven't taken the How to Have Endless Energy class that we're starting in 2 weeks, take it because everyone just has less energy, period. Because we have less energy, we give less love to each other. We're all becoming a little bit more robotic as ChatGPT is taking over the world and screens are taken over. We also are becoming more robotic. We have less bandwidth for love because we're burnt out. That's a very scary thing because love is the most powerful energy. The love a parent gives to a child, the love between partners, the love between siblings, the love between family members, the love and acknowledgement we give to our ancestors. That is the most powerful source of energy in the world for all of us. And if we make love about some transaction, like meet some emotional need, there's no love. There's just you trying to do a transaction, meet a need. So that's, I think, is a very, very important point. Another question I got, Q&A, if you're getting divorced, how to approach it? For some reason, quite a few of you right now are getting divorces. Sometimes it means you're more connected to yourself, so you're getting the divorce. I have created a Happiness Sangha divorce support group. So within the greater Happiness Sangha, we now have a getting divorced special interest group that I created informally. So if that's the case for you, get in touch with me. I'll get you connected to that. If you're getting divorced, divorce is just a step to something new and something big. Think of your divorce, not something is over. It's just a step to something greater, something pleasurable, something enjoyable, new horizons. If you're getting divorced, just think of that phoenix getting reborn from the ashes of the relationship. That's a wonderful thing. I think that's the most healthy approach. Another question I get a lot always, and this is my specialty. Why am I in a destructive relationship? I think I already answered this. A destructive relationship is a symptom. The reason is always inside. The reason you're in a destructive relationship, 100%, is that you're destructive to yourself. So when you see how true that is, that's your freedom because that is in your control. For you, I recommend lots and lots of self-compassion and care for yourself. Another question I got, and I almost laughed, I got the question, do I listen to the mind or to the heart? And it's a great question, but it also means what is due to my work, because I always say, and I've been saying this for a long time, always listen to the heart. I was a specialist at some point in my life of listening to the mind. And that's when I started looking around and saying, I don't like anything about my life. My life might look amazing from the outside, but I don't like anything about it. Let's change everything and listen to the heart, listen to what my heart says, and let's just change everything. And that's what I started doing. Your heart is always true to you. It is always true to itself. Your heart is always true to those you love. It will never betray you. The mind will betray you and it can act out of ego. Always listen to the heart. The mind can be very narrow, very ego-based. Anything from ego is destructive. Anything from ego, anything becomes destructive. Anything from the heart ultimately leads to your happiness, your joy, and is a contribution to the universe. Don't listen to the mind, listen to the heart. A lot of questions about relationships. I got the question, when does it make sense to be in a relationship? How do I know I should be in a relationship? I think the question is, it's simple here. When it's more interesting, more enjoyable to be together than apart is one thing. And when you have common values, common vision, common goals, it makes sense to be in a romantic relationship. And another kind of follow question I got on that is, why are romantic relationships in general in crisis? And I do think a lot of romantic relationships are in crisis. We need three things in relationships: attention, presence, and safety. Attention and presence right now are at risk. They're a problem. With the culture of immediate gratification, with technology, it's hard for us to be present for one another. We don't have each other's attention anymore. We're conditioned to consume. We're conditioned to be consumers. And in any relationships, you either have love or consumption. You're either following Aphrodite and Lakshmi in your heart, the goddesses approve of this, or it's transactional, it's consumption. It's like, give me this and I'll give you that. And that's not love. That's from the mind. And when it's from the mind, it's not good for both people. So I think relationships are in crisis both because we have a lack of presence and a lack of attention to ourselves and to others. Meditation helps with that. And because it becomes a question of consumption and it's transactional. Juicy question I got. If you're judging someone and you can't stop judging someone, what do you do? It's not about them at all. If you're judging someone, look where you're not allowing yourself your own freedom. Look where you're not allowing some part of yourself to exist. And if you really have this question, consider doing the Freedom from the Inner Critic program that's on the Happiness Sangha website. And now all of you should know that there is a website because I sent it out in the newsletter. A lot of you don't know we have a website, but we do have a Happiness Sangha website. If someone wants to put it in the chat, please put it in the chat, the URL. Another question I get a lot is, I have anxiety. What do I do? I have anxiety. I think anxiety is almost always a lack of energy. When you don't have enough energy, you start to get anxious. Like the phone at 4% battery, that's anxiety. And fear eats up a lot of energy. So if you have anxiety, the cave you fear to enter holds the treasure that you seek. Go towards your strength, go towards your full self, be more honest, express some part of you not being expressed. Choose a more full, honest version of yourself. You'll get the energy and you won't have anxiety. If you want huge results in a very short amount of time, and I get that, like Elizabeth, like I have a week, I want to change my life. I want very big results. I have I don't have a year for the individualized program. I have 1 week. And people say that. And maximum energy. If you want very big results in a very small amount of time, that's a lot of energy. You need to have a big energy resource. So the change happens at the speed at which you have the energy. It's a reflection of how much energy you have. I think how much opportunity you get, how deep your relationship can be, resources you have, that's always a reflection of your energy. And the speed at which you can make a change is your reserve of energy. This is why it's important to cultivate energy, have a large reserve of energy, spend time in nature, spend time connecting, spend time living from the heart. Your energy reserve is big, and then changes can happen very quickly from that. Oh, another question I got is, you can't get a certain potential lover or current lover or past lover out of your head, and you think about that person all the time. We have a class, it's also on the website, letting go of past romantic partners. I think it's there. But if you really are fixated on someone, my advice is let love into your heart. Love in the bigger sense, not for that man or that woman necessarily. Make sure that you feel that love isn't about that specific person. That person is a small part of it. They're one part of the universe that can be loved. But then there's the whole universe. So instead of obsessing over that person, open your heart up to the universe and then take care of yourself with love. Love for yourself, love for the world. And that other person is a part of that. They're a small part of that. The more love you can feel and act on, the more spacious you become. And that person just becomes one part of life, life that you get to experience with love. And you can experience that person with love, but then you can experience the rest of life with love as well. And that's incredibly liberating. It's not just about your fixation on that one person. We've almost gone through the main Q&A, and I wanted to give you the chance also to put questions. So you can put questions in the chat that you also want answered that maybe you didn't ask over the summer. But I get also the question a lot, what's the meaning of life? And I usually say the meaning of life is joy and growth. And I stand behind that. The meaning of life is joy and growth. To enjoy each day, to grow from each day. And I want to add another nuance to give you an even more full answer tonight. The meaning of life is to feel unconditional love. And the meaning of life is to fall in love with the earth more. Fall in love with the earth more as it is, from that place of unconditional love. To fall in love with people from a place of unconditional love, the world itself, ourselves, our body, others. We're here for that. We're here for that loving. That's not transactional, not consumption based. It's about love. So we didn't come here to make money. We didn't come here to live in 5-star hotels. All those things are good. We're not here for that purpose per se. We didn't come here to consume, although mainstream reality might make it seem like we're here to consume. We're not. We came here to love. We came here to give love, to receive love, to feel love. It's part of all of our paths. Like there's 80 people here. It's part of all 80 of our paths. That's when it goes from dark to light in your life. We can come from love or we can come from ego. When you come from love, that's when your heart is free. So life begins and life ends. It's like a trip, it's like a retreat. And it has an ending. But the experience itself of love, it connects you to timelessness. The experience of the heart, it's always timeless. And experiencing that is happiness. Experiencing unconditional love, a heart that's unbound, that's real happiness. So thank every year you're alive, because every moment has that timelessness within it if you can approach it with love. And do that for yourself. Keep approaching yourself with love as well. So that's that's kind of the Q&A that I really wanted to share with you. Those were the best questions I got, and those were my best answers for the time being. Maybe in a year or two, I'll give you a different version of the answer because the world will be in a different place, and my sense of the group will be in a different place. But given where you are, I am, the world is, that is my absolute best answer. And I want to leave you with tonight, and we'll wrap up soon. I want to leave you with what I can offer you. And I think very hard about what's the best I can offer you. I can offer you the individualized program, which is the most powerful program. It transforms where you are. It will meet you where you are and take you where you want to be, and it's customized to you. My heart is very much with this program, and I think it's my first, most important, most powerful offering to anyone. Send me an email or send me a text message about that if you're interested, but it looks different for every person. It's a different length, different topics for every person because it matches where you are. So individualized journey right now is my favorite offering. Competing with that, competing with my favorite offering for first place is Summer in Italy, because it's amazing to spend 5 whole days connecting to each other and me connecting to you. I've done day-long retreats, but doing something over 5 days, we keep deepening the practice. We keep opening our senses. A lot of you who came last summer are coming again next summer. I don't know how many summers I'll do it, but I know that it was mind-blowing to me. It was a very deep heart experience for me last summer, so I will do it next summer. And for that, by definition, spots are limited because we have a beautiful villa, but the villa has only so many rooms. So if you want to do that, please join, message me that you want to join. And thank you, Alicia, for putting the link in the chat for individualized journey. That's on the website too. It's a small deposit to reserve your spot. So you don't have to pay the entire amount right away to go. You can pay a small deposit and then we'll keep your spot. Many people said, not one, not two, several people said after the retreat in Ischia that those were the best days of their life. And that's just a phrase that I heard someone like, these were the best days of their life. So do the happiness retreat in Italy if you can. In terms of virtual programs you can do right now, September 22nd, we begin How to Have Endless Energy. It's on 3 Sundays. The 22nd, then the Sunday after, and the Sunday after, we'll talk about how people give us energy, how people take our energy, and the mental states to cultivate to have endless energy. This class is taught differently every year because I match situation in the world, I match your energy, I answer your questions. So it's always different, but we will get to the core always of what gives you energy so that when your energy is large and strong, you are happier and you can do more and your wishes come true more quickly. So that begins September 22nd. It's on the website, it's in the newsletter. And then boundaries class starts October 13th. It was supposed to start October 20th, but it'll start October 13th. And we'll have a class on the 13th, then 2 weeks later on the 27th, and then the 2 Sundays after that. So 4 weeks for the boundaries class. How do you set self-compassion boundaries? I realize that it's impossible to be honest with yourself if you don't set boundaries. It's impossible to live honestly and achieve happiness if you don't set boundaries. So this will be the class for all the people pleasers, for all the people hesitant about boundaries, for all the people who don't feel their own boundaries, which means you don't feel other people's boundaries, and also those who want to connect more deeply. Because when you know your boundaries, you can actually connect more deeply. So those are the core offerings right now. And if you are a lawyer and you are a judge, we have good news for you. We have a special retreat in Italy for you. So those who are lawyers, we have a retreat in April 1st to 6th, and we have a very special event just for judges. So send me the lawyers, the judges in your life for happiness retreat and meditation just for them, and another one for CHROs. So those are all the offerings that I can give you right now that feel most authentic to me and that I'm very, very excited about. I always announce programs right before the newsletter goes out because I just check like what feels relevant right now, and these feel inspiring and relevant right now. I want to end with a meditation called Being Comfortable with Other People's Discomfort. Because today the answer to where's your happiness is where your honesty is. In order to stay honest, you need to be able to be comfortable with other people's discomfort. This is the key to honesty with yourself. This is the key to having energy. It's also the key to boundaries. So I kind of want to do a practical meditation in the last 5 minutes to kind of tie everything together. So close your eyes and welcome to this meditation called Being Comfortable with Other People's discomfort. First, relax your body fully. Whenever we try to people please, there's so much tension physically. So relax your shoulders, release your belly, relax your legs fully. Let your body fully relax so it can take on new energy. Release into the earth. And now take a deep breath in through the nose. Take a deep breath in through the mouth. Take 1, 4, 7, 8 breath. Inhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And exhale out through the mouth for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And now put one or both hands lovingly on your heart and say, I am here to be natural. I am here to send my most authentic energy forward. I can be wild. I can be emotional. I can love. I can let all the parts of myself in. I don't need to be any certain way. Keep a hand on your heart. Feel your rhythm by feeling your beating heart. And acknowledge that it's your job to be true to this rhythm, your rhythm. You're here to be true to your emotions. You're here to follow that. You're here to listen and act on this heart. You're not here to make everyone perfectly comfortable or satisfied. You're here to express what feels true to you. You are not here to make everyone's experience easy or to make everyone's experience perfect. You weren't born to be nice. You weren't born to be liked. You're here on this earth to be happy with the way you are. You're here on this earth to welcome you the way you are. You're here on this earth for self-friendliness and to make your heart spacious enough for you as you are, every part of you, every emotion. So setting the intention to be irreverent, setting the deep intention to be true to your rhythm. Set the intention now to sometimes not meet other people's expectations and to be spunky and to be fully yourself. To be friendly when you feel like it and to not be friendly when you don't feel like it. To connect when you feel like it and to not connect when you don't feel like it. With your hand on your heart, with self-compassion, say, I let my wild side be. I give it permission to be. I am here to be natural, to enjoy. I am here to feel anger when I feel anger. I am here to fully experience my inner state, not anyone else's emotion. I am not here to cater. I am not here to create a certain experience for others. I am here to share with the world what feels right to share with the world. When it feels right to me, I share it with the world. Letting that inner state sink in, like dropping a pebble in a pond, spend a few moments with your hand on the heart and let those words sink in. And now notice if it feels natural or if there's resistance. But with your hand on your heart there, feel your strength. Feel the strength of the beating heart. Feel that your strength is there in you being natural. Your strength is there in your rhythm. Your strength is there to the extent which you are connected to yourself. And together, let's set the deep intention to never, ever betray yourself in order to make someone else feel better. Set the deep intention to never betray yourself, your feelings, your heart, your truth. I am here to be true to myself, and that's where my energy and my power are. I am here to be true to myself, and that's where my happiness is. That's where my happiness will always be, even as I change from moment to moment. And now, with that hand on your heart, take a deep breath in. Take the fullest in breath, and now take the fullest exhale you've taken all day. Release. And as you release, also release yourself to be free of everyone's and anyone's expectations. Find your joy and thank yourself for having done this practice. And take your most full, honest, strong, independent, irreverent self into the world as you open your eyes. And welcome back from this meditation. How did that go? So I had this feeling. I've had this feeling for a few days now that I needed to come here this week, right now. I had this feeling a few days ago that I need to do these meditations with you and say all of these things to you. And I just had it here deep inside that I needed to share this. So I'm really happy this event happened. I'm really happy you decided to come. It was short notice. I think I gave you 2 or 3 days notice on this, but I really had the feeling that this is what I want to share at this moment, and this is what feels right. So thank you so much for coming. I'm glad it was empowering. My main point is that the light outside of you is a reflection of the light in you. The darkness outside of you is a reflection of the darkness in you. Connect to the person in you in all circumstances. Don't meet anyone's expectations. And where is your happiness? Your happiness is where your honesty is. If you follow any trend, anyone else's opinion, you're following something outside yourself by definition. And people who are truly happy, truly successful, they only follow themselves. So follow what's deep inside, enjoy it, hear it, relish it, listen to it. The mind that's like logistics, but other people, but don't let that be the main voice you listen to. When you're loving, when you're accepting, when you're generous, when you're honest, everything around you, not just people, but circumstances, they all become loving and accepting and generous and honest with you. So I want to end by saying that I want you to become more strong each day. I want you to become more honest each day, more courageous each day. I want you to enjoy life more each day. My goal is that you become more happy each day, more connected to yourself, and all your relationships get better as a result, and you have more energy each day. And I am here to support you through all of that and to build the programs that help you through all of that, to achieve it, to feel it, to enjoy it. And it's the privilege of a lifetime to be doing this work with you and to be connected to you in this way. So thank you so much. I just want to say that I'm sending you my heart, my love. May you be happy. May you be healthy in every sense. May you feel safe because you are so honest with yourself. And may everything you do come from your own inner peace, your own settledness, your own honesty. So let's do our wave goodbye. And it was a wonderful night with you. I'll see you September 22nd. I'll see you for boundaries. I'll see you at other random free events. I'll see you for Thanksgiving morning for meditation. I'll see you in Italy. I'll see you everywhere. And have a good night, everyone. Thank you so much for staying with me for the 2 hours instead of the 1 hour. Bye, everyone. So much love to you.
Bye. Thank you, Elizabeth.
Bye.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
Have a good night.
Thanks for staying with us. You're always with us.
Thank you, Elizabeth. I feel more energized already.
Good. Take that energy into your love, into loving life.